Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Claire cannot accept that Tom failed of a medicine overdose at Bill's house. Poppy was having coffee in the living room. She flashed back to her argument with Tom the former night and sounded upset. Bill surprised her when he entered the room. She'd aloud. He would be at work. He took a look at her and asked if commodity was going on. He assumed she would been crying. She tried to deny it but admitted to being emotional. Averring upon hearing about it, Bill said there was nothing she could not tell him. Bill told Poppy that there was nothing he could not fix. Poppy knew it but said it was a lot. He asked if she meant he was a lot. All of it was a lot, according to Poppy, from the maternity tests to waking up to Bill each morning, knowing he was Luna's father. She was overwhelmed. It had been so unlike all the fears she would harbored about how effects would be. It was as if the life she would known had failed. He said it was for the better. Much better, she added. Unfit to thank Bill enough, Poppy asked if he'd to go to the office. She dropped her mask, exposing her nightie. She said she wanted to show him what life with him meant to her. Latterly, Poppy and Bill snuggled on the lounge, naked beneath some covers. His phone chimed, and she claimed he'd see if it was one of his kitties. Bill had entered a news alert about someone who looked familiar, a person named Tom Starr. Bill honored Tom as a busboy and reported to Poppy that he would failed at the eatery the former night. Failed? Poppy said in unbelief. Bill told her that Tom had collapsed on stage. Poppy asked what had happened to Tom. Bill read further and said it had been a medicine overdose. Shaken and tearful, Poppy said, "That is so horrible." Bill said one heard about tragedies like that every day, and he was glad his family had not been touched by it. Bill stated that the poor Joe was gone, and life could be transitory. Poppy called it woeful. Bill thanked Poppy for his son. Poppy recalled that she and Luna had plotted for times to hold their lives together and had slightly made ends meet. She'd done her stylish to raise Luna in a safe terrain. Bill said Poppy did not have to worry presently. He would always watch for them. Poppy replied that his love had changed their lives. Bill said Luna could depend on him. Poppy concluded that it was what made it all worthwhile. Bill held her, and she looked upset. At Il Giardino, Deacon had coffee at the bar as he and Hollis reeled from the events of the former night. Finn arrived, saying he had heard about Tom's death at the sanitarium. Claire thanked Finn for coming and said he'd to know what had happened to Tom. Hollis and Deacon agreed that it was a shame. Tom, who'd been a sweet Joe, had been trying to make a new launch for himself. Hollis noted that Tom had gotten shaky and unsteady on stage. Deacon figured that Finn might know commodity, and Finn revealed that it had been a medicine overdose. It did not make sense to Deacon and Hollis. Finn replied that the full toxicology report was still in process, but Tom's donation had been text. Cleric, Hollis, and Finn lamented Tom's death. Deacon remarked that Tom had no way forgotten a face. Finn said it was awful that Tom had had musketeers and a lot to live for, but medicines had taken it all down. Deacon did not get it because Tom had not been using anything. He did not understand why Tom would go back to it. Finn reasoned that relapses happened. Deacon said Tom had been overfrontal about his history of medicine abuse, and he would sworn he would demur the habit. Deacon said it was not the Joe Finn knew, the Joe who'd saved Sheila, or the Joe Finn had seen working there. Finn agreed but said people could serve with dependences. Deacon claimed that Tom had been looking forward and reclaiming his life. It did not make sense that he would start using again. Cleric decided not to make final judgments until the report on Tom was done. Finn said the news had picked it up, and Deacon would have to deal with news fans. Upset, Deacon said people did not throw down alternate chances. Look at your mama, Cleric considered. Finn did not want to go there and said he would just arrive to talk about Tom. Finn did not want to make it a habit or threat running into Sheila. He'd to recognize his woman's wishes, and his family came first. Cleric was thankful Finn had stopped by, indeed if Deacon had not liked the news. Finn aloud. Of how medicine dependences ruined families, and he asked if Tom had had kitties. Deacon said that there were none that he was apprehensive of. In the design office, Luna was listing dresses when Zend entered. He offered to return latterly, but she said it was fine if he stayed. Noting that she sounded chill, he said he would heard that she would set up out who her father was. Guessing it had to be surreal, Zend remarked that it was as if she would discovered she was a queen. Luna had not allowed of it that way, but she did not see herself as a queen. The plutocrat was new to her, but it blew her mind that she had an extended family. Zend smiled because Poppy had eventually told Luna what Luna had always wanted to know. Luna told him about the maternity reveal, and he said it was sanctioned. She was Bill Spencer's son. She stated that one of the biggest mystifications in her life had been answered. Her whole life, she would allowed. Her pater was dead, but as it had turned out, he was veritably important alive. Luna told Zend that she would nearly given up, but she would set up out who her father was. She was agitated to get to know him. Zend called her amazing. She reasoned that Bill could have been angry to have another sprat show up out of the blue, and he had not had to accept her. She said he had, and she would had an amazing connection with Bill indeed before they'd known. The DNA test had verified it, and an instant bond had formed. She revealed that Bill indeed wanted to borrow her. Zend was glad she was eventually getting to have her father in her life. Luna stated that it had been a rollercoaster, but she was thrilled to eventually know her father. Cleric Dubaity's Tom's Overdose, Bill's alarming news for Poppy the Bold and the Beautiful, B&B, spoilers recap for Tuesday, July 2nd, reveals that Bill Spencer, Don Diamant, set up Poppy Nozawa, Romy Park, in her mask looking nervous, so he wondered what was wrong and pledged to fix it. Poppy just acted like she was overwhelmed by her awful new life and ultimately made love to Bill as a way to show her gratefulness. As Bill and Poppy canoodled subsequently, he got a news alert and saw that Tom star, Clint Howard, failed of a medicine overdose at Il Giardino last night. Bill recalled that Tom was the bone who revealed water on Poppy and filled her in, so she putatively replied with shock and looked uneasy. At Forrester Creations, Zend Forrester Dominguez, Delon Demetz, banged into Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, in the design office. That gave Luna a chance to gush over her new pater. So she revealed that Bill was going to give her his last name and borrow her. Zend was happy for Luna since she'd been staying a long time to eventually have her father in her life. At Il Giardino on Tuesday's B&B occasion, John Finn Finnegan, Tanner Novlin, gave Deacon Sharp, Sean Cannon, and Paul Hollis Hollister, Hollis W. Chambers, some updates from the sanitarium. Cleric aloud. Perhaps Tom had failed of a stroke or a brain aneurysm, but Finn eventually revealed that it was a medicine overdose rather. That didn't make sense to Deacon since Tom was in recovery and had turned his life around, but Finn acted like relapses were common. Indeed so, this whole overdose thing easily didn't sit right with Cleric. It just didn't make sense for Tom to start using again when he was reclaiming his life, not to mention that he sounded fine before the live show. Although Cleric wanted to stay for the full report before he accepted what happened, Finn acted like the primary results were enough to figure this out. Cleric argued that people didn't just throw down alternate chances and used Sheila Sharp, Kimberlyn Brown, as an illustration, but Finn didn't want to talk about her. In fact, Finn didn't want to make a habit of showing up like this since he didn't want to risk running into Sheila. Still, Finn was curious if Tom had a family or someone he was close to. When Finn asked if Tom had kitties, Deacon admitted he wasn't apprehensive of any. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Deacon may keep digging for answers, so stick with us for further prognostications on what he might uncover.